to Your Wealthy Self with me, Regina Martinelli. This show is about money and a whole lot more. Here at this show, we focus on you being able to expand your capacity for money, for success and abundance, for your inner and outer wealth, for you to have what's important to you, what you desire, and have the grand adventure that you want your life to be so that you can feel like your wealthy self. We do this from a place of honoring your wholeness. I really stand in that you are enough just as you are. The universe sees you as enough. You don't need to be the best version of yourself or another version of yourself. You can be exactly as you are right now, and you are 100% deserving and worthy and enough to have what you desire. There's nothing you have to do, be, or produce to have what's most important to you. And who knows what that is? For you, it could be very different. It could be freedom to have more success and money without shame or guilt. Maybe it's the ease in being unapologetically you, or more certainty in your sense of your purpose and fulfillment, or feeling a daily sense of joy within yourself. Whatever it is that you're up to, that you want, that you desire, that makes you feel like you're wealthy both inside and out, we are here to help you create it. Because we do all of this through the lens of money. Why money, you may ask? Because money is actually a spiritual highlighter. It actually reveals how you engage with the world, how much you allow yourself to have, how easily you allow yourself to have what you want. And it highlights how much struggle you believe subconsciously you need to have in order to deserve your money and your success. Because money is one of the most fundamental way that we deal with the outside world. And if you purchase things, put them on your credit card, however it is, then at the end of the month, you dread looking at your credit card statement, things that you've reached for and purchased. What does that say about your deserving or your worth to have those things, to have what you want, to have what you need? Money highlights a lot of things, and often we don't feel worthy of the success we desire. So we will augment our worth by creating struggle in our lives to where we believe that we have to work hard for our money. Like, this happens a lot. I mean, I've seen this in my own life before I did my own internal work, where if money came easily to me or success came easily, it was too easy. And I grew up in a family where you have to work hard, lineages of farmers, then my money would disappear because it came too soon. It would just disappear. And I'd have to work hard again. And it would only stick around if I worked really hard, if it matched what my internal struggle beliefs were. Consciously, I didn't want to work hard. I didn't want to struggle. But subconsciously, that had seniority over my conscious brain. I talk about this in another episode on how your brain works against you with money. But if you believe you have to work hard for your money, then you will have to work hard for your money. In this show, we are revising these beliefs so you can have more of what's important to you with more ease, certainty, freedom, and fun. Because that's what life should be. Today, we're going to talk about how to set the stage for manifesting, what you want, priming your subconscious that could be on the same team to help you. And also, this is going to include partnering with the universe. What I mean is in partnering with the universe and how to work with it. And I'll say universe, it could also be all that is, God, or however you call it. Higher consciousness, your highest self, how to work with the universe to manifest what's important to you. Now, I know there are many different ways to manifest what you want, and I'm going to share today is an option. It might be one that you've never considered before, and it might give you some insight into why you haven't been able to create what you want yet. First, you may already know that it's important to be clear about what you want because your attention has a lot of power. Hence, I have an earlier episode about getting clear about what you really want regarding money, and you can put anything in there. You can put health, you can put relationship, love and connection. And we go into the depths of the clarity. And there's an exercise in there about asking questions to make sure you're clear what you truly want versus what you say you want on the surface, but what's underneath that. And sometimes it's a lot closer to you than you realize what you really want. So if you haven't watched it, I recommend you doing that and doing the exercise in that episode after this. You may also know that once you are clear, it's important to add the emotion of joy, happiness, calm, excitement, or whatever it is that you would experience in your body when you have this good thing that you want, to add that to the clear picture of what you are wanting. This is a powerful combination, clarity and emotion, very powerful. Yet it's not all of it, but it's definitely one of the first steps. Many people stop here, then wonder why they don't have what they want and why it doesn't show up easily. There's something called trust. Yes, we all know it. It can be hard when we are really attached or even desperate to get what we want. Trust in this episode is about letting go and trusting in divine timing for what you want to show up. It's trusting that the universe has your back. You can rest in that you are in partnership in creating what you want. I know this can be hard because what trips people up most of the time is their scarcity mindset, that there won't be enough, or there's not enough time, or that it's going to go away if it shows up. This dovetails with people's distrust of being supported or held by the universe. They don't trust the universe has their back, so then they try to force an outcome or control all of the factors in the strategy. So let's dig into this. And a lot of this piece about non-trusting can originate in childhood, when you reached for what you needed as a young little baby and it wasn't there, whether your parents didn't have it to give to you or it just wasn't available. We're going to talk about that again in another episode. So if the easiest way to manifest something is to have clarity about it and then infuse emotion into what you want and then let the desire go. The third piece is just let it go and trust. The question is that I often get, how do you balance letting go of what you want and having your attention on it to create something? Because again, attention is powerful. See, the idea that you have to fix your attention on something is still an aspect of you having to work hard for it. Using your attention to create the clarity of what you want is wonderful. And infusing the emotion is amazing and essential. It's the using your constant attention to track what you want, how it's coming, and being attached, like obsessed or concerned at how quickly it's moving towards you that causes the delay. It can have the sense of desperation when we're managing all those aspects. And when we're managing all those aspects, especially around money, it can start to pull back. It's kind of like if you've ever been out somewhere social and you're single, the people who are single who are looking for a date and they're like, I got dressed up, I took a shower, I'm in my new outfit. You owe me some attention, you owe me some date, come on. And they're doing this thing and you almost go, oh yeah, I don't think so. That can have that same energy when you are constantly tracking, managing, and controlling every piece of it. So when I get clear that there's something I want, it shows up without me having to do much. And it's not because I'm continually reminding the universe of what I want. And it's not because I'm special. It's not that. It's possible for anybody. If there's nothing in the way, meaning I have removed those limiting beliefs, those feeling inherited loyalties, the things that are in the way, the safety patterns, then the fact that I want it, it will show up. I don't have to strategize about it. I don't have to plan out the how it's going to happen. I don't have to control it. I don't have to be desperate about holding onto it so tight or worried that it's not going to be enough. It will show up in a delightfully surprising way. And I share it this way because it's possible for me and it's possible for you, because I used to be that desperate person going, oh my God, I've got to control it all. I've got to track it every moment. Because I didn't, because of all the beliefs I had. That's another story. For example, one day I decided I wanted a bunk bed for my kid. I said this to myself, like, I probably should get him a bunk bed. It'd be really great to have a bunk bed. And I put it on the back burner. I didn't put any more effort into it than that. I just let it go because it was casual. I didn't have a lot of attachment to it. And I didn't really have an agenda or a timeline when it needed to happen by. It was like, oh, this is a good idea. I should probably do. Yeah, I think that would be great. Within 2 weeks, it showed up. We were on a play date at a friend's house, and there was this large package outside their gate of their driveway. I said to the mom, you got this large package out there. I think it got delivered. You may want to bring it in. And she said, it's a new bunk bed. They delivered it, and yet I can't get anybody to take it back. It's this big thing. We've been refunded, but no one will take it. She's like, do you want it? So this is how easy it can be. If you're clear about what you want and there's nothing in the way, then you don't need to keep asserting your desires or your requests. This is where that scarcity belief comes in, that you need to control it, manage it, or make sure you get yours. When my son and I go to his favorite dinner place, we don't order our food and then flag down the waiter and see if they've got gave it to the chef correctly. We don't keep asking them if they know it's a noodle dish and not the whole chicken. We don't ask the cook if he's started to turn the griddle on to fry the egg. We don't question how they're going to organize the ingredients or combine them or what order they'll put them together or tell them the best way to process the cooking of the food. We don't do all that. We just trust it's going to happen. See, the universe doesn't get annoyed with you when you keep asking for what you want. When you keep checking in, making sure it has all the specifics. It doesn't get irritated. Yet I cannot speak for your waiter. He might be like, have you ever eaten out before? It's coming. It may take a moment. This is where I leave the how up to the chef and the universe. I sit back and wait for our food to be delivered to our table. This is the part about letting go. I know that can be tough when you're really wanting something to happen, to show up and you're really needing it within a specific time frame. There are two very different experiences of creating what I want. There's this knowing that it's almost as if it informs me, where I realize, it's time to get my son a bunk bed. It wasn't even really on my radar before. It's as if a piece locks into place in my awareness, and then within 2 weeks, it's ours because I said yes to it. This type feels more like an evolution of my journey, like it's time and I get the nudge. The second is where there's something I really like, whether it's an object, an adventure, or an idea, and I decide I'd like to have that. It's like a preference. It comes more self-generated as a preference in my life. Like I wanted to create a new backdrop or color. I needed a professional eye. I needed help to create what I wanted. And within a week or two, I had the designer and I looked, and the look that I wanted, it was all laid out. Both of these obviously are valid ways to manifest and create what you desire. And they feel really different if you've ever had these types of manifestations before. But it's helpful to feel into the flavor of them. You can have both, you can have one, doesn't matter. There's probably many, many others. I share this is the way that it shows up for me because some are, again, self-generated and some are kind of information that I can say yes to. Here's something to know. The casual things that you want, like my bunk bed, means there's usually not a lot attached to it. It's not a necessity or something that I feel desperate about getting. This way of holding it lightly makes it very easy for it to show up. And it can show up easily because it doesn't have to trudge through a bunch of muck or entanglements or limiting beliefs to manifest. And also when you hold it lightly, you're not deciding how it has to come to you. I didn't say, oh my God, I need it, do this and this and this, so then I have the money and I could buy it with my blah, blah, blah. No, it just came. I would have never, ever thought of in 100 years that it would come through this friend of my son's. I would have never thought that. I could have thought of a few other ways, but I would never have thought that one. And here it was, a delightful surprise. They're like, take this this off our hands. We don't want it anymore. Done. So when you hold it lightly, the universe has an infinite amount of possibilities of which it can bring things to you. And it can find the one that's best and easiest and quickest for your life and your belief system that's coming. Versus when we say it's got to be this way, this particular time, and we got to control and strategize it, the what, why, where, when, then it shrinks down the possibility, and that hole for it to come in gets really small. And then it takes a lot longer for the universe to line everything up for it to come through there. And what also closes down this aperture of letting in this blessing is our limiting beliefs about how easy we can have things or how much struggle we need to have or how deserving or worthy we are. So getting those out of the way is also really great. We focus on it casually, then there's usually not a huge attachment to how it shows up. As I said, when it shows up, which gives the universe a lot more room to play. And I love it when it gets delivered in a surprisingly delightful way. And it's always much better than if I had controlled it. It's always a better version of what I thought I wanted. And conversely, when there's a huge attachment of something that we want that we don't have yet, it's usually because there's some sort of attachment to not having it, that it won't ever come, and then we're going to be in struggle or disadvantaged in some way. It's a sign that there's an underground fear running, usually around your worth or your deserving of what you want. That creates that friction from it happening. Stuff is easy for it to show up because your clarity is not just in your vision of it, but also there's no subconscious blocks in the way. Sometimes when you want sometimes what you want can get so clear that the clarity can be so big that it can outweigh your fears. This was me when I was considering having a child on my own. I was clear I wanted to be a mom, but I was afraid to do it myself. Yet my clarity about wanting to be a mom outweighed my fears about doing it on my own. So you can still have some of the fears, yet there's this all-pervasive clarity that what you desire is going to come, even amongst the drag of your fears. Clients a lot of time will ask me, why do I have to have it be in surprisingly delightful ways when I'm manifesting? Why can't I know exactly? Honestly, this is what I most love about manifesting, is how what I want shows up in delightfully surprising ways. It's best to trust the experience is going to find you and in a way you least expect it. Because if you can expect it, then it's nothing new. It's not going to catch you off guard and leave you with no doubts that what you did inside yourself and getting clarity and fueling it with your emotion, that you produce those results. You produce that thing that then was outside of you. You created it inside and produced it outside of you in the dance with the universe and all that is. Because when you get that you did this, that you are creating your experience, that you can create whatever you want in the quantum field, then you might take note of what you did yourself and do it again. Another point I want to bring up when you work quantumly, you're not really doing. You are doing without doing, and things can happen in all sorts of beautifully mysterious and fun ways. This is a good place to start to build your trust that the universe is on your side, and it will happen. When you do start with something small that doesn't have a lot of charge or attachment in the outcome, like an invitation to coffee with a friend or finding something that you want on sale, good places to start. And there's an exercise. Here's something you can do at home. It does two things. It starts to prep your subconscious for what you want, and at the same time, it helps you get clarity about what you really want, literally and metaphorically. So, and I'm sure it's not new, but start collecting images. You can do them on Pinterest. You can cut out pictures in magazines, collect them from the internet, and make basically a vision board. I know it gets a bad rap, but vision boards are really good at connecting your emotions to what you want. And that is the language of the subconscious. So it works versus you consciously telling your subconscious what you want. Your subconscious, your reptilian brain doesn't do language like you talk to your neighbor or your friend. It doesn't do that. It has pictures, sounds, touch, feelings, flavors, all that. So using visualization or even sounds of what you want are so much better than using language and energetic feelings. It can be a montage or a vision board, whatever you want. You just want to start collecting images of things that you'd like to have as a result of, let's say, money. It could be a car, home, vacation, paddleboard, a dog, it could be new shoes, money in the bank, whatever it is for you. But collect pictures of that tangible result you'd like to have that's coming from money. Start collecting images of those and assembling them either on a paper board or some kind of whiteboard or virtually on your computer. You need them where you can see them on a regular basis. It's imperative that these images also feel really good to you. They feel good in your body when you look at them. So if you look at them and it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel joyful or inspiring or fun or even a sense of peace, if that's what you want, then it's not a good image. We don't want to send the message to our subconscious that we want to feel bad when we have what we want, or guilty or shameful or undeserving. We want to have what we desire and we want to feel good about it. Remember, it's the feelings that you have that help to drive the whole process. Remember, we talked about clarity and emotion and infusing it. Clarity helps with the pictures of it and then the emotion. So if it doesn't feel good, it's going to be a waste of your time and energy. because it's going to give you more of the not feeling good. And that's not what we're trying to manifest, right? So it's the images of things that you like. And the universe doesn't differentiate if it's a big thing or a small thing. The only difference in big things and little things is your own ability to believe that you can have it. So if you try for something giant that is beyond your ability to believe, then that might be too much of a stretch. And for fun, you can always include them in the collection. But you don't want it to bump up against, I want a brand new spacious house and 25 acres of property. Can I have that? I'm not sure I can have that. Start with something that's, you can put that on there, absolutely. But put other things on there that feel a little more in your realm. Because again, in this show, we're going to be about expanding your capacity for success and wealth and the things that you can have and hold. Just got to work through it. This process is about seeding your subconscious with images of what you want that capture the feelings that you want to have. So if it's a sense of peace, it could be a beach, a favorite mountaintop, reading on the couch, reading a book, whatever those feelings are that you want, those images, capture that feeling. And it won't matter if you manifest a ton of material items. If you're not having good feelings that you want in your life, that really matters to you. It's not about what we have. It's about how it feels. So you want to make sure that it feels the way you want to feel. Images that give you a feeling what you want in your life. And pictures that bring forth those feelings. Ideally, these are pictures of someplace where you can regularly see them. Because again, it's like planting seeds. And we're still going to need to revise the stuff that's in the way, yet starting to plant the seeds and then getting all the weeds out of the way. All the stuff that would keep the seeds from sprouting and thriving. This is a really good recipe for starting to let the stuff grow up or at least germinate. So you might be surprised at what shows up. I did this years ago and I put my vision board away only to find when I finally moved that I had manifested 85% of what was on my board, which surprised me because I had forgotten about some of them. Lastly, when we know we can create what we want and we do it with ease from a place of joy, then what we want actually it's not a lot. It's actually a lot less than we think we would need. We don't need millions of dollars in the bank because there's a scarcity belief running when you think you have to have millions and millions and gobs and gobs and gobs of money in the bank. Most people who want that is because they feel the need to have every possible and eventual situation handled before it happens or just in case it happens. And when a person doesn't believe they can create what they need, they will feel they need to hoard. When you realize you don't need to hoard, like when you breathe, you just know there'll be oxygen when you take the next breath. You don't need to hoard all the oxygen in the world. When you can get this way about money, then what you want is much less. You are satisfied, happier, you have more clarity and at ease with what you have. And when you choose to create more, it's from a more joyful place and you're not as desperate for it to come into form to manifest. You don't feel so attached to how it shows up. You know that however it shows up, you will be taken care of and it's going to be just what you need. You can rest in the knowing that the universe has your back and that more is coming. And for many, that is tough to do because their childhood was unsafe or they could just not trust those who took care of them that it was going to be safe to relax and turn off their high alert status within their bodies. So there is some repatterning, some revisioning, some healing that needs to happen there. Your greatest power is always within you. It's within yourself. The more you come into the place of love or healing inside you, the more that you can create that around you, the more you can affect the world around you. And trust that the universe is here to help you. And when you get to that place, the universe can give you so much more. There is so much help out there in the cosmos and beyond. We don't ask enough. We don't ask for enough help from our guides, our spirits, all that is, God, whomever you like to call it. And whatever you feel, or whoever you work with. But put together your vision board. Start asking for help from the universe, the spirit guides, God, archangels, saints, whomever that resonate with you, your higher self. They are all waiting to help you. But the number one rule is they won't help if you don't ask. If you got something from today's show, please share it. There is enough pain and fear in the world. Let's start creating more joy. And if you know you need to have more support and you'd like some, please contact me at yourwealthyselfcall.com. I want to help you get the support you're needing. Or if you have questions or topics you'd like to talk about, you can email my team at yourwealthyself@E360TV Live. And make sure you come next week when we are continue to work on Through Money as a Lens to create more freedom, prosperity, self-worth, clarity, appreciation, and daily joy, or whatever it is most important to you. Please know I love and adore you. You are an incredibly beautiful and precious being, and that you are enough just as you are. I look forward to seeing you next week, where we will awaken and have more fun.